Hello, everyone. My name is Danny, and I'm here with 2022 Roosterweight World Champion Thalison Soares. Thalison, how are you?
I'm great, great. Could not be better.
Yeah, you just won a world title in the Roosterweight division, your first ever world title. And I wanted to start out actually talking about the beginning of the year for you in 2022. You won your first black belt major title in the gi at the Europeans. Then you went to the Pans. You ended up getting second, losing to Carlos Bebeto Oliveira in the final. So I'd love to hear about how you prepared for those events, because I know you made some changes going into the Worlds, but how were you preparing for these major tournaments before the Worlds?
Well, to explain the tournaments for you, I need to go like way back, So, like when I was a blue belt, when I moved to São Paulo, that I wanted to be the best in the world, And decided that, but to be able to, in my mind, to be the best in the world, I had to be a blue belt world champion, in my mind, I used to think, if I don't win as a blue belt, I can win as a black belt. So then I went for it. So then I built the plan to be a blue belt, and then later, once I got my purple belt, was the same thing. If I can't be a purple belt world champion, that means I can't be a black belt world champion. And then I went, then same thing, purple, brown, and then same thing, still the same plan. And then when I got my black belt, I won the no-gi awards. So that means I did win gi and no-gi from blue to black, no-gi. And then there was only one thing missing, was the black belt, So the one I won this year. And last year, no, yeah, last year I lost. So what I came to realize is that I wasn't ready for that. So in some way I made a mistake that took me away from what I wanted to achieve. So then I started to look back and, okay, what am I missing right now? What am I missing on myself, And then I started to adjust it. So then I went to Europeans to adjust it, to try adjust all the mistake I made, like a technical mistake, mental mistake that I made for words, and then I tried Europeans, and then did work, But I knew winning European wasn't my goal. Like, of course, it was good to win Europeans, display a good jiu-jitsu that was good, getting the fans to display my jiu-jitsu for people that love me, they love my jiu-jitsu. But then I went for Pans with the same mindset. Like, of course, I wanted to win. If I tell you that I did not want to win, I'm lying. Of course, I went to win, but I want to just fix my gaps to be able to win worlds. So that was my main goal. And I did fight well. I lost to Bebet like by one penalty, but then I said, okay, I still need to adjust a lot. That's a lot to adjust. But the time frame that I had was pretty short. Was like between Pans and worlds like 2 months. But I had to come back to Australia because I have my school here in Australia, so that I need to be here. I'm the leader here, so I need to organize all the company before I leave for a long time. But then when I made the decision to go to AOJ, and then I did a 6-week preparation. 6 weeks preparation is like a short if you think about preparing yourself to do a world camp. But I've been preparing myself for it for my whole life, It's like it's my whole life for that moment. And so that's why I knew in 6 weeks I would be able to adjust the details that was missing in my game and my mind and my confidence. And I knew Professor Gui would help with that. Where he did prove himself, so he won. He did help his brother win. They both are Hall of Fame. How amazing was that? And they did help Tyne to win his first world title. So so the whole situation made me believe them even more. They would be the right people to guide me, to achieve my dreams. And Professor Gui was ready for that, and I was ready for that. I was ready to trust him to be my professor for that 6 weeks and listen to him for whatever he had to say. So I basically became a white belt again, and let him guide me through all the process, And then with my work ethic and everything I believe is right to be able to succeed as a black belt, putting together with his work and the whole team work made the result, So yeah, so it's hard to tell you one thing, but like my mental game, my preparation, my technical, my confidence, so everything. Like we did work we did a work of everything the LJ, and the whole preparation was really important, like every step on the way, and that made me just believe that I can achieve even more. Like I did achieve a lot so far, but my main goal as an athlete, as my personal goal, is to be at the Hall of Fame. How amazing was the event? So that's where I want to be. And if I did achieve it now that I'm like a super young still, that I have my own school, that like I'm my third year as a black belt, and you can't forget that we had COVID and all that. That means I can do more, like I keep working hard to that is what make me believe that I can win more times now.
And you mentioned that you had a short time frame between Pans and Worlds. It was only a 6-week camp at AOJ, and there's obviously a lot you can get out of a camp in 6 weeks. But what were some of the main things? Was it more technical? Was it strategic? Was it mental? Or was it just a combination of all those things?
Yeah, I think, of course, the combination of everything. I think we did not specific work on one thing only. I think because I'm a very smart guy. I've been doing that for so long. It was easier for Professor Gui also guide me, and I'm to you be a good professor, I believe you need to be the best student, so to become the best professor, you need to be the best student. So I did understand that like really early. So I have my own school today, like I told you. So I understand that it's easy to teach someone that wants to learn, and it's harder to teach someone that don't want to learn, even if they have the talent. So I do fully understand that, and that's why I went there, just to listen to him. I did listen to everything he had to say, and he looked at me and he thought, okay, that's important to work right now. And everything he told me made so much sense, because somehow I did understand already, or I knew it already, and okay, so let's just put our mind into it. A funny thing that I was thinking about it the other day is like, when you was really smart person, you're gonna think a problem, and then you're gonna try to find 10 different solutions for that problem. But then once you find 10 different solutions for that problem, you find another 10 problems, and then you just keep the same cycle forever. Find a solution, finding problems, find solution, find problem. So I think that happened with my jiu-jitsu for so long, because the gap, like, to make a mistake is so small. Like in 5 seconds, you can lose the whole fight. So to be able to be ready for these 5 seconds, like for example, my finals, like that 5 seconds could take my title, So that's the gap of fighting a black belt world title, like a gap of 5 seconds, you can lose the whole title, But because I was here in Australia teaching myself, so that just keep adding up, So like a mistake, solution, mistake, solution, mistake, solution. But to be able to find one thing for 10 minutes and which one's the best is the hard decision, But then I did trust Professor Gui. Professor Gui told me, look, that's what we're going to be doing for the 10 minutes. I said, okay, that's what we're doing for the 10 minutes. So I did trust him. I did trust him so much. And the way he did trust me back as well. So it was the perfect combination. I did trust him, and he did trust me. I think that's the... If I tell you what was the main thing of the whole camp, I would say that I did trust him and he did trust me. I think that would be the biggest difference of the whole camp.
That's really interesting what you talked about, where smart people, they have a problem and they find 10 solutions to it instead of just focusing on one. And I think about guys like someone like Leandro Lo. He's someone who's used a pretty narrow set of techniques to win a lot of world titles. Of course, he has tons of techniques he could use, but he does a lot of the same things because he's become so good at them. Is that kind of what you're referring to?
I know. For me today, like I think about that, I think Leandro is the smartest guy because he do one thing very well. Different of me that I wanna do. I wanted to do like 100 different things. I wanna have 100 different games and be ready for any type of thing. But then I thought that just because I'm ready for any kind of situation, I'll be better than everyone. And that's what I use in my mind. I used to think is, okay, if I know 100 techniques and I'm good at 100 techniques, I can do many things from there. Okay, I'll be good, I'll be the best. But if you can master one technique and understand the combinations from that, how people can react, how can you understand that, prepare yourself mentally, your body, understand the timing of each technique, and everything else that involves the technique, and then you become the best. And a good example is Leandro, as you said. Like a Leandro just do, let's say, if we keep it simple, he does 3 techniques, but he does it so well. He understands that technique so well that everyone that fights against him know he gonna do it, and he should go there and do it. It's like the double leg that he did Isaac. Of course, Isaac was expecting the double leg, and he should did it. Yeah. So what I think about that is that I'm really young, so it's of course trying to achieve what I want to achieve. I gonna make so many mistakes, trying to achieve it because I push myself hard every day, mentally, my body, and everything. I know the time frame that I have to achieve all my dreams, and I push myself to make that happen. And that's gonna lead to mistake anyways. It's gonna be about end of the day gonna be about trusting people to guide me through to achieve the dreams I want to achieve.
That's amazing. And maybe about halfway through the camp, you actually ended up competing at a local tournament, the San Diego Open. I think you only had one match, correct me if I'm wrong, but you ended up winning the match, and you used some of the strategies and the things that Coach Guy was telling you to win the match. Can you talk about that experience and what it was like competing with him coaching you for the first time?
That was the whole plan. When I went to AOJ, I had no plan. The only plan I had was to compete worlds, but Professor Guy had a plan for me already. And like I said, I was trusting him. When he told me go compete San Diego, in my mind I don't want to do it because I just did arrive from Australia to there. I was jet lagged, I had to cut weight and I was not training properly. But I said, okay, I came here for that, to listen to him, to trust him, so let's do it, So then I went there, did cut my weight, did like a fight. I was feel a bit sick still, but I did it so many times in my life. This won't be the last. Fighting sick and all that. But then, and then he told me, look, let's just try the techniques we apply in the train, what we think is good for us, what I'm telling you here. Let's build the confidence to feel good on top and trying to pass the guard and moving very well. Let's not try to finish. It's only one fight, so it's 10 minutes only. So let's use the fight to build all strategy, to build all work together as a coach and as a student. And then we did use the tournament for that, just to build that confidence and that trust in each other.
Throughout your time at AOJ, I'm sure you got to train with a lot of the elite black belts at the camp. There's Tynan Dalpra, Jonathan Alves, Jessica Khan. There's also a ton of amazing lower belts. Were there any of those competitors in particular who had a big impact on you?
Well, I need to talk about each of them. They're all amazing people. When I got there, I did connect the team very well. If everyone, I know all of them since color bells. Me and Tynan, John, we are same age basically. So we grow up together in different school, but we grow up together. So we know each other from tournaments. So it's easy to connect with them. But for me, it was just amazing to see how hard and how smart Tynan works. His work ethic, because he's my age and he believes in the same thing that I believe. In my age, even younger than me. I think he's 1 year younger than me. And for me, it was just amazing to see people like me. So normally, when you find someone like you, they did it already, or they are trying to do it. For example, I can see a lot of myself, Professor Guy, but he did it already. He's not doing it anymore. I can see it a lot on my student. My student just became a world champion, a juvenile world champion, Chile. I'm gonna share with you later. Yeah. And I can see a lot of him on me on him, right? But it's hard to see people like me, right? Right now, me, the moment that I'm living, they're living the same moment. And that was amazing to see that in China as well. So I did learn a lot from him about that. I said, okay, there are other people also chasing what I'm chasing. Right now, my age, the stage that I am in my life, the stage they are as well. So I can learn from them, I can be with them. And that was amazing because Tynan is, I don't need to talk about his jiu-jitsu, right? I think he's showing it and how amazing, but to be able to see it at training and train with him, drill with him, learn from him, was amazing, unbelievable, because the first week that I went there, I went for his seminar. His seminar is just amazing. You know, like he did 2 seminars in San Diego, if I'm not wrong. And then I asked to come with you, and he said, yeah, of course, let's do it. And then, you know, he did invite me. I was going to ask you, but he did invite me first. So he did include me to that, you know, how amazing. And then I was super tired, but no, I'm going, I want to learn from him. And his seminar was just unbelievable, amazing. And they said, yeah, good. And they kept training with me every day, asking him questions, and he shared his knowledge with me, showing his jiu-jitsu for me every day, like I'm not holding anything back, teaching me the techniques, the mindset, anything that I could possibly ask him, he did answer in very well. That did not just cover my question, but all the questions as well. You know, and such a humble boy as well. Like he's a good man. You know, he look after people. He get there in the morning. So AOJ has a 6 a.m. class. He teach the class. He teach the kids class, and you know he's there for the kids. He's there for the adults. He's there, you know, with amazing energy to everyone. Was really amazing to see that in someone that's my age believing in the same thing that I believe. And then John, same thing. John is probably the hardest work person I've ever saw in my age as well. You know, like he teaches at the gym. He works for himself really hard. He has an outside job. He works at AOJ with different things, and he's developed so many other skills. Like he's helped Mason with all the online content. He helped with create content for everything for AOJ. So you can see that he's pushing himself super hard to achieve and be good at different things as well. You know, like what is amazing to see in that stage as well, because when we that young, we think the only way to be successful in jiu-jitsu is if you are a world champion, but not. There's so many ways to be successful at, in jiu-jitsu. You know, you can be the best at something else, and everyone gonna respect you for that. And see that John understand that he can be a world champion himself, but he also can be a great coach. He can create content very well, and he still have his outside work as well. You know that, so he judge all that and still can do very well. You know, and people don't understand, and I think he's a great example of that. Of that you can do all the things very well, learn different things, and still be really good at your work. You have enough time to do it in a day. If you can organize yourself very well to do it, you can do it. And then John for sure, and the two boys that I would say that did help me so much. Like there's so many people can tell you, but Cole and Gustavo for sure. Like the boys are different. They are both 17 years old. They work hard every single day. They're 6 a.m. every single day. They go back home like about 7 p.m. So it's like it's full time at the gym. If they are not training, they are doing preparation. They are always on diet, so you can see they are always on shape. They're strong. They drill strong. They're super smart. Even if you talk about Cole, like Cole is just for me the best example of what a teenager should be like, what a upcoming person should be like, because he speaks English and he speaks Portuguese. And he makes so much sense because his professor is Brazilian, so there's so much information that he can learn from Gui in English, because Gui teach in English, but there's so much information that he learn in Portuguese because that's Gui's first language, you know. So if Gui teach Taina, he gonna teach in Portuguese. He won't teach in English. If he's for the whole class, of course he gonna teach in English. But if he just speaks straight to Taina, he gonna speak in Portuguese. If he speaks straight to me, he gonna speak in Portuguese as well, because we both Brazilians, you know. But if Cole just sit perfect in the middle, because he can understand English and he can also understand very well in Portuguese. So that means he get the information in two different languages. That means he can process that so well, and you can see the roots of that. Because he can listen to what Gui is telling for him in English, but he can also understand what Gui is telling me in Portuguese. You know, and then absorb that, because he's in a stage of his life that he's a purple belt, trying to be a purple belt world champion. He just did. He's gonna be a brown belt, but he already can understand what Gui is telling me that I wanna be for me that I wanna be a black belt world champion. He can understand what he's telling to Taina that I wanna be a 3 times world champion now. You know, so he already absorbed all the information and build himself different. And you can see already why he's different. You know, he's different already. He's a 17 young boy, and he just works like a man, better than most of the people I ever met in my life. And I would give the credit, of course, for himself, but for his family that did recognize the the foundation, the talent from a young age, and started to shape the boy like this, and did connect them to AOJ when he was a young boy, and then now Portuguese shaping him for his whole career. But no doubt that he's gonna be a black belt world champion. You know, like you can even save that video and post it when he become a black belt, because he will.
It's so great to hear that there's so many people there who are working so professionally. And like you said, they're not just working hard on the mat. They're teaching classes. They're doing stuff off the mat, creating content. That's such an encouraging thing to hear for the future of the sport.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think AOJ is leading all the schools. I think if everyone wanted Jiu-Jitsu really to succeed, and athletes succeed, and everything else succeed in Jiu-Jitsu, they should, AOJ, Professor Gies, Tyner, everyone, the whole team should be like a role model to everyone, because not that I'm there, that I like it for myself, and no, I think that for Jiu-Jitsu is amazing, because everything they are doing there is unbelievable, amazing for the growth of the sport. You know, like we can see the results, but like the outside world can see the results, but me that I went there and saw the work, you know, how they prepare themselves is just amazing, and the community needs that. If you really trying to achieve the next level, to be able to provide a good future for the athletes, for the schools, for people that start jiu-jitsu young or old, they are doing that work already. They are years ahead of jiu-jitsu already.
And you can tell that all that work is rubbing off on the younger generations and the kids at the academy as well. So it's such a great thing. So I'd love to move on to the actual competition, the Worlds, where you competed and won your first world title. You had 3 matches, and your final was against Bebeto, which was a rematch from the Pans final. And I spoke to Guy a couple days ago on the podcast and just asked him about you and about you training at the academy. And he said he really wanted you to face Bebeto again in the final so he could kind of see the differences between your game at the Pans and at the Worlds. So I'd love to get your take on what you felt like the biggest differences were in those 2 matches and why you thought you were successful at the Worlds.
I think it came down to the details, you know, like the strategy details, like on the mindset of and who was better that day as well. But I think my confidence to win was way bigger, you know, because of the work that I had previous AOJ and after AOJ as well. That built my confidence for that, but losing to him also did build him he beating me before did build his confidence as well to make himself to the finals, and he made it to the final. He did a great job, you know, did beat some tough fight to make to the finals, and beating me before made he believe that he could win again. What made that fight a really good fight, you know, because I knew I was trusting the work I did at AOJ before that I could win the war, but by beating me before that for sure made him believe that as well, you know, and that's where I built my strategy to okay, now how can I beat someone that is really trying to beat me again, you know, and be able to build the confidence. And I think the match was just amazing because no better person than him to win at the end, you know, the bracket, everything worked perfect for that, because again I lost to him at Pans, and it could not be better than get the rematch with him at the finals, you know. It would make more sense. But I think the main difference was the confidence that I had to apply my game. You know, I got a fast sweep at the beginning, and they kept pushing the pace of the match, trying to pass. Since when I come up, you know, he did not sweep me back. After I swept him, I just felt like confident that I could pass his guard and try to apply it. But he did an amazing job. I could not pass his guard. Like I got close a few times, but nothing close enough to be able really to pass. But I kept really trying to pass, and that's what I'm gonna be working now, is to keep progressing my jiu-jitsu on that and keep building my confidence to do my jiu-jitsu. You know, I know I have a lot of jiu-jitsu. I can display way more than I'm displaying, but build the confidence to fight at the world finals is tough. Like nothing like I ever felt before. and that's what I want to do, is build my confidence where I can really display my jiu-jitsu, because I know I can display way more than I did display this year. But it's tough. The pressure at World is something different.
Yeah, the energy there was crazy this year,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
I could tell there was a lot of pressure on all the finalists, just with
yeah,
all the energy being back at the pyramid. It was such a great atmosphere. So now you're back in
yeah.
Australia at your academy,
Yeah.
and you got to bring your gold medal back to your students. What are some of the main lessons that you think you're going to be able to pass on to them from your experience preparing for and winning the Worlds?
Um, I don't even see my students see the Australia as a country. My students just like a people that can really connect me straight away. But what I want to do here is prove that Australia can be a potence in jiu-jitsu. They can be a world champions from here. I'm the first black belt world champ from here. Like I'm not Australia, but I live and teach here. So that's what I want to prove it to the people here, that it's possible to do it, and we did it already. I became the first Australian black belt world champ, someone that live and teach here. My student also won double gold. That's the first double gold ever at juvenile level. I'm not sure if any level, but juvenile level for sure, like male. Um, and then we did prove it. Now living in a small town here that calls Byron Bay, and then we did prove it. I think with the work ethic that we have, we're gonna build more champions from here, and yeah, that's what I wanna live for them. Is that with a good work and people doing it well, doing for the good is the way to prove that people can become the best in the world. Because Australia did build a lot of champions here before, like a Levi, Lachlan, Craig Jones, and all the amazing people. But most of these people, when they reach some level, they go to United States to find a good training for them. And now I want to prove they can be a champions here. If someone is doing the job good, they can be champions here in Australia. Um, yeah, and make them believe that they can do it here, because it make more accessible to people as well. Because to go to America, go to Brazil, sometimes become really tough when you have a family, when you have all the obligation to do. But if you can do it in your hometown, or if you move to somewhere that's 2 hours away, 5 hours away, or 6 hours, or whatever time it is, you're still gonna be able to go back to your place, do whatever you need to do instead of moving countries. And that's what I wanna prove it to people. They can do it here. So if they dream to be a black belt world champion, or a purple belt, brown belt, whatever they wanna achieve in their life, that's what I wanna prove to them they can do it. And for my students, I just want to prove that they can be the best whatever they do, and use jiu-jitsu as a foundation for them, because jiu-jitsu teaches so many good skills for life, and teach us how to deal with our feelings, or whatever feelings we're going through of any stage of our life. Jiu-jitsu teach us and help us and guide us through that stage. And if we believe in the art of jiu-jitsu, jiu-jitsu gonna help them in so many ways. The way it did help me in my life, the way it did help in my life to achieve my dreams, to change my life, to change the life of my family, to change me as a person. I believe that you just can change so many people. That's the work we are trying to do here in Byron Bay, is help other people become better person through the art of jiu-jitsu.
Well, Thalison, I want to congratulate you again on the world title, and I think it's amazing that you changed up your preparation and got the results that you wanted. So is there anyone else you'd like to thank before we wrap this up?
I think first I would like to say thank you to IBJJF for making all that possible, and make people like me dream about have a better life through the art of jiu-jitsu, And second, I would like to thank Professor Gui. He wasn't my first professor, and he did not teach my first techniques. He did not teach me everything I know, but he was the guy that did believe me. He was the guy that did motivate me to do good, and he did help me achieve my biggest dream. And now coming back to Australia, I'm just bringing a lot of experience, a lot of lessons, a lot of motivation to do better. And if it wasn't because of him, I would not be feeling like that. And I want to do great for the community here in Australia. I want to do great for my students. I want to do good for the next generation. And he and his brother did inspire me for that. So I would like to not only thank him, but thank Rafa as well for the amazing work they do. that motivate not only me but the whole community to do better.
Awesome. Thank you again, Thalison, for your time. Can't wait to watch you compete again. And thanks, everyone, for watching. We'll see you guys again soon.
Okay, thank you.